Hey guys, it's TSS here, and today I'm doing my review of the Titanfall beta, because this video is meant to come out on Wednesday night, but obviously they extended the length of the beta, which meant I had time to play it like over yesterday, and obviously I didn't want to make my review before the beta had finished, because otherwise I'd be cheating you a bit. You know, I don't want to just give a review that's completely biased on hype, and I wanted to make sure that see if the game actually had a new replayability built into it, because obviously when you get a new game it's all kind of a bit, you know, a bit excited. It's like, oh my god, it's a new game, but you don't actually know whether it's got any replayability in it whatsoever until you play the game properly. I mean, a lot of YouTubers nowadays just seem to get the game and just bang out a review of it instantly, like, you know, the day they get the game. It's like, I mean, how can you honestly give a full review of a game the day you get it? I mean, you have to play it for a bit and see what's annoying. I mean, for example, I quite liked Call of Duty Ghosts, that first day when I got it, because it was a new game. But now, I mean, after even playing it for about 3 days, I was just bored as hell of that game. It was just absolutely awful. But, you know, so I think that now after having 16 hours gameplay on it and having the beta actually be finished now and I can't play anymore, I think I have actually got some experience, and I think that my voice is at least a little bit worthy. One other thing that I'd like to say just before I get into the full review of this game, I am using the smart pistol in this game, and a lot of people, well, there is a lot of hate going around this gun. I mean, a lot of people seem to think it's really, really OP, but I'm going to leave this for a new video, and so don't sit there and say, oh, this gun's OP in the comment section down below. Because I'm going to give a full review of this weapon. I'm going to tell you why it's not OP. And even though it is a good gun, it's definitely a good gun, but I don't think it's OP, but we'll get into that in another video. I mean, I could talk about that for a long time, so yeah, we're going to leave that for a while. But stay tuned for that. So I think I'd like to start off by mentioning the whole 6v6 drama that's been going on with this game, and why a lot of people have been, you know, really complaining about this issue. I mean, what I did was I kind of trusted that the devs know what they were doing, bearing in mind they were the only people who at that point had even played the game, apart from a few YouTubers at events. But I would have preferred the game to have been a higher player count of some sorts. But when you play this game, you do completely understand why they have used it. There are several reasons that you will see instantly as soon as you play it, and it's quite hard to put into words. I mean, one of the reasons that I can think of straight off of the bat is that it really does reduce camping in the game. I mean, think about it. If you've got a game where you have a lot of bad people playing it, then these bad people are obviously going to be able to want to get kills somehow, and the only real way to do this is by camping. So what they do is they camp in corners and they end up getting a few kills, even though they don't get very many, they still do. And if there are grunts running around that are mindless and they're very, very, very bad, then you still have someone for these, like, bad people to kill, which means they don't need to camp. They have no reason to. And then also, because the mobility in this game is just so unlike any other game we've seen before. I mean, you could compare it to Crisis if you possibly wanted to, but even so, it's a lot more exaggerated than that, and it's so much better, and it's just so much more fluid. And because of this, I just doubt there's any reason that anyone in their right mind would ever want to camp in this game. I just don't think I don't think it's going to be built into this game because of the mobility in it. I don't think anyone would ever want to. You know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just one of those things that people will not want to do. You can just tell it's not going to happen. It's not like Call of Duty where you just sit there and you can just bundle up loads of kills in looking down an alleyway, you know. People take a lot more damage in this game, which means that if you're sitting in a corner and you don't notice someone as you walk past, if you've got better aim than them, you can turn around and still manage to kill them, because you don't die in it takes a few seconds for you to die. So this is one of my favourite things about this game. There is not going to be any hammers in this game whatsoever, so you're not going to be raging at people who are just sitting in corners killing you over and over again, even though they have no skill whatsoever. The skill gap in this game is amazing. You can just tell, because I'm still finding things out about this map, like the one here that I'm playing, Fracture. I didn't know you could do before. Like there's a jump that I never you could even get to, where you can get onto the top of one of the cliffs, and like I've never seen someone up there. It's one of those things that you just learn from playing it. I mean, over the space of probably about 8 hours on each map, bearing in mind I played it for 16 hours and there's 2 maps in the beta, even at the end of that I was still finding things out that I didn't know before. I was still finding out little jumps I could do that I would, you know, from like place to place. It is just absolutely amazing, the replayability that this game has because of the maps and the map design. It's just brilliant. So I do have a few issues with this game, however, and most of them, if not all of them, lie with this game not being the best PC port that you will see. I mean, For example, the field of view slider only goes up to 90, which I'm probably being very, very nitpicky about because I like to play on 120 field of view. But most people don't generally play on 120 field of view, so it doesn't apply for most people. But I wish that the field of view slider went up to 120 rather than 90. So in that respect, it's kind of not the best PC port. And also, there's no text chat in the game, which does kind of annoy me, to be perfectly honest, because I think that's one of the best things about PC gaming, is that you don't necessarily have to have a mic to be able to, you know, help the team out and like tactically and that sort of thing. Whereas on this game, you know, you have to be talking to be able to have any tactics in the game, which does kind of annoy me a bit, because it's so easy just to be able to use your keyboard and just message someone during the game, rather than having to, you know, have a mic and just speak to them, or otherwise just message them through Origin, which, let's be honest, Origin isn't the best company ever, is it? Or not company, but, you know, messaging software ever. So yeah, you get what I mean. But I mean, don't get me wrong though, the game is brilliantly played. It plays brilliantly on PC. I mean, it runs extremely fluidly. I don't get any random frame rate drops ever in the game, even though I play on ultra settings with like 4 times anti-aliasing and that sort of thing, which should kill my frame rates. I still get 60 frames per second all of the time, which is very, very, you know, I'm very, very happy with that, and I can't really complain. And there is still a field of view slider in it, even though it does go up to 90. So I don't really want to complain about it too much, because in no means is it a bad console port. It's just not, you know, PC port. It's just not perfect. So other than this, I do really, really love this game. I just think it's perfectly balanced in every single way, and it's such a breath of fresh air from that sort of like serious, sort of more hardcore gameplay that you get from Battlefield, which is obviously a much slower pace shooter than this, and this is just, it's Call of Duty done right, basically, in my opinion. I mean, I think if Call of Duty was done perfectly, like it was back in COD 4, I think I would still be playing it to this day. However, obviously, Call of Duty is not done well, and that's why I play Battlefield instead. But this game, I'm sure, is going to quickly become my most played shooter, and I just think it's brilliant. And if you haven't given it a go yet, you really should. And just, if you haven't played the beta, yet you're still hating on it for the 6v6 thing, etc., you really, really do need to just completely reevaluate your life. You know, you cannot talk about this if you haven't played it. It really is like that. So I'll see you next time. Just tell me what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.